Hi, everybody on LinkedIn. This is Getting in Your Business with Coach Sandra, and I have a very special guest today that I'm a little nervous because her name is Emma Loveday, and I've been following her for I think 2 or 3 months now, and I just want to say I find your content so interesting, exciting. Like I actually rang your bell. I don't have a lot of bells being rung because I don't have time, but yours is always interesting and funny. I find it just so. I'm a little starstruck actually. Now that I think of it, maybe that's what it is. I'm tongue-tied. Yeah, it's really weird because I follow you and I go, she's just so she's got that it factor that I'm drawn to. So please tell our community that doesn't know you, of the 4,154 people that don't follow you, why they should follow you and what do you do?
Okay. Well, first of all, thanks for that, Sandra. I appreciate that. I don't think anyone's ever told me that they're starstruck, so I'm gonna remember that forever. Um, Highlight moment. My name is Emma Loveday. I'm a content marketing and online visibility coach, and in a nutshell, I help coaches and online service providers create content that connects on an emotional level and converts with integrity through the art of storytelling. So it's very much focused about how do we help you tell stories that your audience wants and needs to hear, the way that they need to hear them in order to feel pulled to reach out to you and think, I wish I found this person sooner.
Yeah, well, that's what I feel about you. I mean, I honestly, I look forward to your posts because they are interesting. They do draw you in, and I look forward to it. It's kind of like my entertainment for LinkedIn. No, seriously. And then I know you have a background. You were an actress or something like that. I think I've read. Is that correct? So
Yeah, yeah.
how does that mesh into what you're doing? Like, is that part of your inspiration? Is that part of your success? Like, tell me more about that.
Yeah. So I mean it's like I always think like this kind of came together and like what I am now sort of emerged out of like two parts of like my story, which is one part is that I am a trained actress. That is what I went to do at university. I did a degree in it. I've been acting. My parents threw me in stagecoach at like, I don't know how old I was, 10 or something. She's so painfully shy. Get her in stage school. And it's just been part of me like always, and I love being on the stage, but part of that was always I also loved writing as well, so I was writing stage plays and screenplays. So I've always considered myself a writer just as much as an actress, but really those two things combined are a storyteller, right? That's what that
Yeah.
is.
You
um
are. You're very,
and
like, your writing is amazing. It really does hook you in. And I think that it's obvious that those two like marry for you. Sorry, keep going. I'm just like,
Yeah, no, but yeah, so that's sort of like one element is that, I mean, it is just my background, it's just part of who I am. And you might read my posts and you can see like the theatrics in it.
yes.
You know, um, like, does this girl think she's on stage right now? Like, seriously. Um, but then the sort of the other element is that I did have social anxiety disorder for about a decade, and it was a disordered anxiety, and it's actually what put a stop to my acting career anyway, because I was just so all consumed with just fear of what people think and how people perceive me, and that social anxiety was like a really big part of my life and very crippling, and it was born from very low self-esteem. So you can imagine, right, someone with really low self-esteem who's constantly seeking external validation, and I find comfort on the stage where people applaud you, people tell you how great you've done. So the two came together. So I overcame that. And so what I do now was born out of, okay, well, my skills lie in storytelling, but also like my heart lies in really wanting people to feel like this story is worth telling, like worth sharing, exactly as you are, with your own personality, with your own spunk, exactly how you would say it, you know. So it is like a little like passion. It's a proper like born of passion, this whole thing.
Well, I think it resonates. It's very authentic and it's very real. And so, in other words, like, who are your clients? Like, who are you marketing to, and how are you able to help them?
Yeah, so mostly coaches are like a huge, like they're my proper like epitome of ideal client, but service-based businesses. So I've helped VAs, you know, brand photographers, web designers, online service providers in that sort of field. Um, they're like my bread and butter, really. And what we work through together is like that power combo of like the skills and tools and techniques to give you to help you tell your stories effectively, um, in a way that will help you actually build your business. You know, we don't want to just put content out there unintentionally, for kind of feel goods. We actually, you know, we do actually want to also drum up business and have people reaching out, starting conversations, and there's an effective way to do that. And it doesn't always require, you know, educational content, like 5 tips for this, how to do that. There's a place for educational content, and I create educational content as well.
Right.
But you could go through my profile, and the posts that do well are my storytelling posts. They're not really the educational post, right? So there's the element of like the tools and techniques to master the story selling aspect, but also, you know, the confidence and like that belief system that what you have to say is worth sharing and worth hearing, and your people want to hear from you, actual you, not a version of yourself you think they want.
That's the authenticity part that I am drawn to for different people. Not just you, of course. You're not my. I'm not just fanning over you, but it's not just all about you. I'm sorry, but I also I love to write and I tell my story. It's not always the most happy story, but it's like you've got to just find your niche and what you feel is right for you. And I think that what I've seen of your posts and how you market yourself is you're able to translate that to your clients in order to get them to generate leads. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's two very different narratives where, you know, they'll, you know, you'll hear like your content is always about your ideal client and it's always for your audience, and that's absolutely true. And, you know, we can't just be, if we want it for business, we can't just be like writing these stories without an intention behind them, or sort of in some way making it relatable to your ideal client's current situation. But we want to enjoy what we're creating as well, right? We otherwise we're just like, it feels like we're
Drone.
like such like resistance to sitting down and like content creation day. Oh my god, like the worst day of the week. For me, it's like the best day of the week. I love it. I really, really love it.
I know it's on
And
Sundays.
it's on Sundays. You know, I even give my weekend to creating content, and that's totally fine by me. But like, there's that happy balance of doing it, writing it for your audience, but in a way that like feels really good for you.
Yeah, it's like see, I find writing very therapeutic. Like I find, oh, I'm getting it out, and you're getting part of your story out, so it's kind of like a healing. Depending on the story, of course. Mine is a lot of trauma, so it helps me to heal. But seeing the positive side of it, of course.
Yeah.
So, do you have any? What is the most important thing that you want people to know about what you do?
Ooh, the most important thing I want people to know about what I do. Um, that's
It's a
such a
good
good
question.
question.
It's a big question.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think that I would like to say that there is a lot of content coaches and, you know, like maybe like LinkedIn experts or marketing experts out there, and you know, a lot of them are epic, by the way, and I spoken to many of them and they're totally cool. If you went and used their services over mine, I'd be like so happy knowing that you're in safe hands. But I think what I bring different is that perspective from like the actor's perspective. So like I have the content code, which is coming out in September, for example, which is like a
yeah, I
gonna
wanted
be
to
like
know. I want to know about what you want to promote. Like, what? So September, you've got something coming out. What is that, and how
yeah.
can someone participate?
Awesome. Yeah, awesome. So the content code is like, you know, like it's a self-study. So you don't have access to me, but I wanted to create an affordable option for people, because I know it's something I wish I had when I started. And you know, within that, there's so much within that. It's about like setting up the foundations, you know, and not skipping those parts, the setting up the foundations, the research, validating your offer, X, Y, and Z. But then the three main sort of chunky bits of the content code are the storytelling playbook, the copywriting playbook, and the actor's playbook. And some people might be like, why would I need an actor's playbook? Who is this chick trying to give me acting lessons? But I promise it's a fresh perspective that might actually like jolt something in you to think, oh, I can approach this differently actually than what I have been. So that's released on September 18th.
September 18th. Okay, everybody
Yeah.
write that down. I have to make sure I get this out before then, and that's my plan. I'm releasing them a lot quicker than I used to. It used to be once a week, but then I was at the end of September. You'd be October by now if I was to do that. So it will get out. I'm actually almost caught up. So, and then I'm going to be going live in September. So I'm really excited to introduce you to the community in this way because it's just a little bit different than doing it on your own. You're able to talk about yourself in a way that is not the what you do on your own post. So I'm hoping we can reach more of an audience so that we can expand and let people know who you are, what you do in this format, as opposed to your wonderful posts, which are quite entertaining. So hopefully that's my job.
Oh, well, I love it. And I love seeing your posts. I love seeing your stories. And I actually think it is important that when you have those very, you know, you say traumatic experiences, that if you can write those from a place of healing, then people those are the things that people go, you know what, I totally see myself in that story, and I would probably not have the courage to share it. So I'm so glad Sandra did, right?
Well, that's what that's all I know. Like, you have to do what works for you, and you know, we all have our different ways of going about it, and for me, like, I'm too old to change, so I have to do what works for me and what's authentic to me, and that's easy for me to do. It's easy for me to be open and share it all because as I've told people, I've lost everything like just several years ago. So there's nothing else. I'm raw, so it really doesn't matter anymore. But I want to thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I'm really excited to let the community see this. And is there anything else that you want to share before we go?
Just probably one teeny thing relating to the content code that I do think is important is that when it's released in September, it will be £47 and PDF only. And the online course will follow probably in October. When it becomes an online course with audio and video, it'll be £150. But if you grab the £47 offer, you'll get automatic access to the program.
That's awesome. I'm glad we got that in. Well, thank you so much. I'm really excited. And anytime you want to come back and promote something else, I would love to speak to you.
When you start doing live, Sandra, we'll get on a live.
All right. Sounds good.